cuffs are off, man. Get right, too many left in these leagues, but I ain't gonna...
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up everybody? It's Marcus Grant from NFL Network.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I got to give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
Marking often, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, don't roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves.
What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. I'm Anthony, aka Rasta. This is Get Right Fantasy Network. It's the Rasta Management Show, as I like to say. We're here to talk buy, sell, trade targets, man. If we get to it, we'll talk about some ad drops you can do now that waivers have ran. But I'm here with my boy here every Wednesday, Rasta and Frank. What up, Frank? How you doing tonight, man?
What's up, man? Doing good. I'm healthy, but not a lot of these guys are, man. Too many players are getting injured this year. It seems like it's crazy, right?
Week two.
It brings
That's
me
all it
back
is.
to
Week 2
years back where it was a similar situation where we had just guys dropping like flies, man. Back up, straight. Handcuffed guys were going down even.
Yeah,
so,
it's crazy out there, man. Absolutely. Best part about this morning, of course, was waking up to those waiver bids, man. In our Get Left Out league, we had our boy Dylan Cassidy spending 79 of his fab dollars on Jerome Ford, man. So 79 out of 100 on Jerome Ford. If you guys are out there watching, man, how much did Jerome Ford go in your leagues? What did you see in one of my other leagues, in my auction league? So those guys are all about bidding. When it comes to fab, it's just like the draft, like people bidding like crazy.
Yeah.
11 out of 12 guys all bid on Jerome Ford. And the winning bid there, I believe, was also in the 70s. So pretty interesting. I saw Jerome Ford go for $70.
Just go out, like, here's my whole 100.
No one did that because I don't know if anybody had their full 100 there left. And the funniest part about it was Dylan afterwards. Dylan, because he's trying to come and take your belt. He said he didn't realize it was a dollar minimum fab bids, so you can't just put a waiver claim in for zero. You'd have to wait till the Thursday or Wednesday runs, and then you can put in your just free agent claims. But you have to at least have $1 to be able to bid. So
they don't have
always read your rules.
Yeah, they don't have $0 waivers, and that's weak. That's weak. They should have $0 waivers. There's no reason to do that.
Exactly.
That's just
your mic's a little low for me. I don't know if that's just me or you're too far or something, but just
I'll get
FYI.
that better. Get closer.
Yeah, that is a little better. Yeah, you're laying back on me today.
How's that?
Absolutely.
That's better.
Yeah, that's better. Drunk Squidward in the house saying I have Jerome Ford on my taxi squad, so he's sitting pretty there. Might want to activate him and get him traded out here, or you might just need to bring him into your lineup. So there you go. We got Brooks in the house. What up, Seven Rings? How you doing, man? He's saying, what up? Where's his notification gang at? So there we go. Make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button for us, man. If you're already subscribed, hit that like button. Helps us out just as much. Again, we are trying to grow. Help us get out of this 960 range. I'm tired of seeing us at 960.
Wow. We're sitting there.
Tell some people about us, man. Don't let us, stay the best kept secret. Let your league mates know, man. Get them in here. Subscribe to the channel. And we're trying to hit that 1K mark. So appreciate you guys out there.
This is how I relate it to fishing, let me tell you. Because when you have a good fishing spot, you don't tell your homies about it. You're going to go get all your fish. It's a similar thing that happens in fantasy. I think fantasy football guys don't want to tell the other guys where they're getting all the good stuff, because then they might, win their league with them. You know what I mean? So it's like you almost don't want to spill the beans, but you got to help the brothers out. We got to grow, man.
Absolutely.
Start spreading the word, because eventually they're going to find out anyways.
Absolutely. Well, and they want to keep that to hold off for as long as possible, right? I'm sure, because we're helping people get their lineups right, man. So that's what we do here. Again, today is our Wednesday night show. Like we said, we're doing roster management, buy, sell, trade. So if you have trade questions, drop them in the chat. We're always taking your live Q&A. So get it in there. We'll help you through these things. Been already helping a couple people out today. We had someone ask me earlier. He got offered Kelsey and Zeke for Keandre Miller, AJ Dillon, and Darren Waller. I said, stop texting me and go smash accept before he changes his mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, if anything, you might want to just counter and take out Zeke and take just Kelly or just Kelsey for the three of them. Because, they might, the league might think it might be veto worthy. So just do the 3-for-1 so no one can say anything. But yeah, so he said he got it done. So it's a done deal. So congrats, man. So that's how you do it, man. You never know how people feel, and they want that running back depth, trying to get those 2 running backs. We'll see what happens, man. So there we go. We got Ty in the house. What's up, man? He says 10-team or 10-man PPR. He has Fields, Pollard, Kyron, Williams, Diggs, Waddle, AJ Brown, Waller, Sanders, Christian Kirk, Swift, JT, Roschon, Charbonnet, Gibby, Bateman, and Dobbs. He said he traded Kyron and Kirk for Josh Jacobs for W. Absolutely. So I like that trade. I like those 2 players, but to be able to trade up, you're definitely buying low on Jacobs. We've seen what his potential is, obviously coming off a negative rushing game. Even Austin Eckler, the man from our intro there, was a little perturbed. I don't know if you guys saw his podcast with Matt Harmon, but even he was taken aback that he got negative rushing yards against that Buffalo defense last week.
Yeah, I'm not sure,
which is kind of incredible.
Trade away Kyron Williams. I think this is going to be, especially now that they moved Cam out of there. It's his show.
Yeah,
he's proven that he can carry that ball. I'm not sure.
Josh Jacobs has proven it more, though. He was literally the RB1 last year. So yeah, I'm just saying, this dude's played 2 games. How many times have you seen someone pop off for 2 games and then be nobody after that? I'm just saying. So I think it's a nice come up. Again, those are the chances you have to be willing to take, which is what we'll get into
Josh
here.
Jacobs is giving you a negative. I don't know, man.
He didn't give you a negative. Now you're buying them, so you got that out of the system already.
Got out of the way.
Yeah, get that out of the way. It's not going to happen on your watch. So I like it, Ty. Frank's maybe a little iffy on it, but that's why you're here, man. We're not just going to give you guys all the same answers over here, giving you our opinions, our outlooks here.
Here it is again.
So there we go. Yeah, see, and that's why he's one of my guys on my list tonight. So would you trade away Kyron Williams and Marquise for Javonte? I don't know if I'd do that, just because I still don't like someone coming off an ACL. In that case, I think I might trade Kyron, but I definitely don't mind packaging Marquise, for a Josh Jacobs or someone like that.
I think we're gonna have to turn our minds away from that, man, because both Javonte and Brees are looking pretty good. They're looking all right.
Not as much. He's limited touches. Again, without Rodgers there this year, it might be a little strange. I don't think they're gonna run him into the ground or put too much into him. It's all going to depend on how good they can do, and Zach Wilson. And we already read off that Jets matchups over the first 5 weeks. It's brutal. Yeah. So I'm kind of still glad I steered away from those guys.
I'm just saying physically in whatever, you know what I mean? Like the major worry that we had more so was re-injury.
Oh, there you go.
They don't have not that they don't have an ability to play or play on, have a good
not skill level.
Whatever. Yeah. We were more worried about re-injury, and I'm just saying we may have to rethink that because they both are looking good physically and coming.
Yeah, but so did Nick Chubb until that happened. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
so why have somebody that
later? That was years and years and years later, though.
What? No, I'm talking about Chubb. That just happened Monday night.
I know, but I'm saying he got re-injured because it was the same leg, and that happened in college. The one that he messed
up. I'm not saying as far as re-injury. I'm just saying it could happen to a healthy guy too. So my whole thing is why get somebody who's already susceptible, higher percentage chance that they could re-injure something else because they're not fully have that strength back when guys that are fully healthy still get hurt. Like that's all I'm saying. Like I'm just not trying to increase we all see how much of a running back wasteland it is right now. I'm not trying to increase those chances of having someone to get hurt. I'm trying to go the other way. So I'm trying to get healthy guys because it's already just a crapshoot enough. We got Ty saying, go back, man. We got a new sub. I'm trying to give him some airtime. He says, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And he dropped a sub. So We got one more sub, man. That's all we need. One per show.
One at a time.
We'd love 2 or 3 per show, but hey, at least one. That means we're growing, man. So we appreciate you. We're here on Monday nights, Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and on Sundays, taking your live Q&A. So hopefully turn those notifications on so you guys see when we go live. And we're doing our overreaction waiver targets on Mondays. Oh, lost my mind.
Yeah, you just lost your audio right there. He's got to change
Am I
settings
back?
on this.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. You're back.
You're going to have to
You're good.
take over the show if you can hear me.
You're good. I can hear you. I got you. But I guess he can't hear us, so he's working out. So yeah, like Anthony was saying, we're here Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sunday mornings. Always taking live questions from our viewers. And Monday's overreaction, seeing what happened over the weekend and kind of go over, waiver wire guys. Wednesday today is, roster management and trades. Friday will be, lineups, setting up the lineups and, who to start, who to drop, who to play, who to hold. And then Friday, we're just doing daily fantasy and just, last minute injuries and sit starts on Sunday as well, early in the morning with Mike. So yeah, we're just going to keep on going. Anthony could be back here in a second. Drunk Squidward's in the house here. He's talking about, is Jerome Ford a start this week? He's like an RB2 this week, right? Yes, he's definitely a start. I mean, nobody went out and spent all their fab just to go sit this guy on the bench. The Browns have an incredible offensive line, and that's why they wanted to get a good running back behind him. He proved it right in the same game. Already ran 100 yards within that same game where Chubb went down. So I definitely fire him up this week. You got to see what he's got. Kick those tires. And make sure you got a good running back that you went and picked up, because you don't spend that kind of fab on a guy you're going to put on the bench. You know what I mean? Like, you don't drop 78 fab dollars, as Anthony was mentioning. So we got
Where we at?
Brooks here.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you. I can hear you fine.
Okay, cool.
I heard you
All right,
before.
I got it. Oh, I got excited and pulled out some cords out over here. I started getting my hands into it and just started pulling cords out everywhere. So I had to reconnect everything. So glad I'm back with you guys here. But yeah, go ahead. Where are we at? Let me know. I'll jump in.
Up Brooks right now. Every week, one guy opposite to Cam Akers explodes a bit way too much, and then they implode. It was Malcolm Brown in 21, Hendo in 22, and maybe Kyron in 23. But he has no comp now, so we'll see. And that's my point. Is I do agree with you, Brooks. I mean, Anthony was mentioning that in the last show. Is like, yeah, there's always some guy that kind of pops off early over there, and the next it's the Cam show. It's like those. You go and you buy into these guys, like you mentioned, Hendo, and I remember picking up Hendo myself.
And Malcolm Brown,
yeah. But I'm just saying, now that Cam's gone, it's a done deal. Like, there's no going back to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you can't fall back on the guy. He's on a different team altogether. It's not like he's on the bench or he was hurting or whatever. He's straight up out. You know what I mean? So
definitely,
I'm banking on Kyron. I have Kyron, so I want Kyron to do good. So let's go.
There you go. There's a little biased opinion. We always have to throw that out there. Sometimes when we're hoping for these guys, you don't want to hear that other side of it every once in a while.
Yeah.
But so there you go.
Good point.
I like Ty already, man. He said Brees looks good. He's had one good run. I like this guy already. He's out here talking shit to you already. I love it, man. Welcome to Get Right, Ty. Keep that fire coming, man. I just had to give you some shit there.
He's hit some juggernaut teams, though. You know what I mean? Defenses at that, and of course, yeah, like Anthony says, he's on the pitch count right now. But I mean, honestly, that was a good run. So let's just call it that. What it is.
And if he was the guy from last year, he would have scored. And that's the difference.
Right? They wouldn't have caught him, right?
He's not quite there yet. Yeah. Couple more weeks.
It.
We'll see. I mean, I could be wrong.
He's got the skill set.
I'm okay being wrong on Brees and Javonte this year. I've said that since the offseason. Next year, if they hold up, I'm all for them.
Right.
After that 1 year removed from the ACL, I'm right there with you. I think he'll be there. So there we go, man. So he says, yeah, sounds good. I'll stop in on Friday. So for sure, you'll see us then. It'll actually be me and Classic Mike, another one of us here. Get right. Frank gets Fridays off.
Guys over here.
Yeah, I don't know how when we set up this schedule, he ended up getting Fridays off, but he did the right thing. But no, we do our game by game previews on Fridays, which is kind of what I was getting to before I started ripping out all the cords because I get excited. But Classic Mike and I will go through all the games, give you all of our start sits, take your Q&As on Friday. Really fun show, man. We would kick back, relax, pour yourself your drink of choice or whatever it is you do to get right and come out here and talk some football with us, man. So there we are. So we'll see you Friday, brother. If you got anything else, man, definitely throw it in there. Oh, he did. He said, yeah, Malcolm Brown had 125 rushing, 1 TD in one game. And we don't know where he is now. So there we go.
Didn't see him again, right?
Yeah, and that was it. So that's all I'm saying. But we're also talking to the guy who drafted OBJ, held him as a lotto ticket his rookie year, pops off, traded him, just like we're saying here. And maybe that came back to backfire me because he was basically a league winner. But that's a chance I'm usually willing to take. I mean, that's why I draft that way. I've been doing it for years before we even started the show. And it's been successful for me. You know, it's worked out. You have some hits and misses. You're never batting 1,000. So
Kyron is setting records. You know what I mean? Like
now Puka's setting more records. Speaking of which,
Puka too.
Keenan Allen or Puka in week 3 from Kyle.
Ooh, Kyle Schubert, Keenan Allen, Puka. I'm still sticking with Keenan. Got a solid week last week.
Wide receiver 1.
You know what you're getting out of your veteran. So, not to say that Puka's not going to be. Who are they playing against? Who's Puka? They're playing against?
Rams. I don't have the schedule up. That's why we do our start sit on Fridays because I don't even have the schedule pulled up right now. But let me see. This didn't. I went to the wrong site right away. But yeah, either way, we'll get back to you on that one. I'm probably leaning Keenan still, but I don't think you can go wrong with either. Like, can you find a way to get both of them in your lineup? That's all I'm saying. Exactly. So anyway, we'll move on. You got another one in there? Oh, see? Ty saying, let's get it. See? I like this guy already.
Chargers playing the Vikings.
Oh, yeah, it is Chargers Vikings. I remember Eckler talking about it. That's why I want Eckler back.
And then we got
Swift just went for... Swift went for what? 178? I mean, what could Eckler do? Aye. We need him back this week. We'll get into that.
The Rams are Monday night against the Bengals.
Ooh, that could be a good matchup too. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either. Honestly, I think Keenan has a better chance to get almost as many catches. Not as many because he's not getting like 10 to 15 like Puka is. But Puka might be the next like Jacoby Myers. Like we might be waiting for him to get in the end zone for a while, and it may not happen before Cooper Kupp gets back. So let's hope so. So we'll see. I think we skipped sports spotlight up here, man. No, did we get to this one? Oh, you did it? That's when I pulled all my cords up? Oh, okay.
No. We did another one.
Okay. All right. So he says 10-man PPR, 3 wide receiver, redraft. And I love when you guys set it up that way. It helps us answer the questions. So he says Josh Allen, Aaron Jones, James Cook, Tyreek, Amon-Ra, Zay Flowers, Kittle, Kyron Williams. The bench, he does have Akers, Marquise, Josh Reynolds, Christian Cook, and Breida. He's saying any suggestions for trades? He's been trying to get Jacobs, but the guy wants a high price. So yeah, I mean, if you can get, one of those trades like we talked about earlier.
I mean, you got Kyron. We're just trading them off right now, right?
Yeah, like Kyron and Marquise. Was he the one saying that same trade?
No.
Like maybe you can throw that there.
That was Ty.
So. Oh no, he was. Yeah, he did say. So he said Kyron and Marquise. That was the same guy. So that's his full team. He's given us his full team now.
Oh, okay.
I thought we somehow had this already. I think you made a nice offer. I don't think that's too much. Like if that is the offer, I would do it. So what exactly is he asking for if you've been in communication there? So just let us know and we'll get to it here in the chat. We have All in One Show saying, yo, what up? He needs running back depth bad. Don't we all? Yeah. I just need starting running backs. Like in one league, I'm starting like David Montgomery and Samaje Perine.
Just to make sure I had somebody because somebody's going to go down.
Man, I'm literally have David Montgomery and Samaje Perine as my starters right now. And that may not even work. I may not even have, I may only have one running back. That's what I'm saying. None of them are. Like Samaje's not really playing either. Like he played okay week 1, but then it kind of went all to Javonte week 2. So I don't know, man. We're all in a tough position.
Like he's not even starting, I don't think.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. I'm in dire need as well. Absolutely. I'll be shooting out trade offers today for sure. Let's see. So he said I got stuck on the needed depth bad part. He said, and he traded Godwin for JT, hoping for him to come to be back. Great trade. Whether he comes back with the Colts or comes back, and gets traded.
Hopefully he plays. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it would have been nice to see him go to, Cleveland. That would have been a nice landing spot for him if they could have worked out that trade. But obviously, though, they probably wanted too much, so they just went and paid their $4 million for Kareem Hunt, which we'll get into here in a second as well. But yeah, I think that's a good come up. Yeah, you didn't have to give up your wide receiver one unless you went like super RB heavy. But yeah, so nice trade. I like that trade, man. Sports is saying, I don't think he'll trade, but is there any studs at a buy low that you suggest? Absolutely. So we'll be getting to that. That's what this whole show is about. We're going to go position by position a little bit later. So definitely tune in. If you end up having to go, of course, we'd love you to stay. It'll obviously be recorded, so we'll get to them. And if you want to ask us a question post-show, make sure you go into the description of this video. You'll see you can join the Get Right Fantasy Sleeper channel. It's kind of like our Discord, but it's within the Sleeper app that we use for our mock drafts, for our Friday night mocks. And you can post your, entire team, screenshots of the league, other teams, the other guy's whole team, and I'll jump in there and we'll go back and forth, and as well as other folks here in the Get Right community, and we'll help you try to bang something out, man. Bring championships to all of us.
Plenty of people there to give you opinions for sure.
Absolutely, and I'll definitely be in there, man. I can't get enough of this stuff. So Ty was saying he's looking for an upgrade 2-for-1 on his team up there again. So I might have to go back to that.
Yeah.
We'll get
He's trying to get 2 guys to get 1 good guy is what he's trying to say.
For sure. I'll look at it a little more. Oh, let me go back. There we go. So again, this is a show for the people, man. We're here for the people. So Fields is. Oh yeah, because that other guy's not pushing for Jacobs. So I'd say let's put a pin on this one. And when we get into our running back buys and sells, then we'll, definitely have our targets for you that we're looking at right now. One of them being,
you could probably move on Swift.
I'm not buying Swift personally, but it's not bad. I can see why you would.
Somebody else.
He has Swift.
If he's
That's right. He has Swift.
He could move on Swift while he had a good game and sell high.
For sure. Yeah, you might be able to put like Swift and Kyron together, but I don't know if I would consolidate this easy. I mean, we're into week 2. Yeah, I'm like, we're into week 2 already. You kind of just need.
I would move on Swift while he's selling high.
I like kind of, leveling up, so to speak, as we get closer to playoffs. I don't like giving away all the depth right away, too early, unless you really, really need it. So, anyway, he said, drop one from Jalen Warren, Tank Bigsby, Devon A. Chain, and half PPR. I don't know where that even came from. Yeah. I'm not even like drinking tonight. Like I don't know where that came from. I'll try to delete that on the playback. But he says all 3 are depth pieces. His running backs 1, 2, and 3 are Mondre, Brees, and Rashad. So out of these guys, who you're dropping? For me personally, I drop A-Chain first, then Tank, then Jalen Warren. So I have him ranked exactly how you have him listed, meaning I would drop A-Chain right now. Because Jalen Warren seems like he's almost taking over. He's almost flexible right now.
Tank first, maybe, and then A-Chain.
If anything happens to ETN, like I think Tank is just a plug and play. I don't know if A-Chain's quite there because they have so many other weapons in Waddle and Tyreek that they could just literally throw the ball 60 times a game.
The old man's going to break down eventually. Most are not going to last the whole season.
True. But Jeff Wilson is coming back as well, too. Potentially in a couple weeks. So so that's what I'm saying. I would just drop A-Chain for now, only because I don't think anybody's like crazy hurry to go pick him up. So
like, wait, other team.
Oh, it's a different team. Well, either way, we're going to get into the buy sell trades. So we'll bring it back up when we get there. Ooh, tight end question.
Squidward.
What up, Squidward?
Tight end question. Made for more for depth, Jawan Johnson or Jake Ferguson.
I think we're probably going to answer the same on this one. Fergie.
I'm going to go Jake for sure.
Fergie.
Is doing all right. You get it. Right now, it's a muddled mess now because they brought it back in. My guy that'll be gone over there, and it just makes it a mess over there in New Orleans, right? I mean, right? What do you think?
Yeah,
I mean, just for talent wise, also, Dak loves to throw at his tight ends, and he's already shown that the last game it was like 3 tosses at the end zone to his tight ends. So I mean, you got more licks right there, right off the bat.
Exactly. So yeah, just Fergie easy for me on that one. Ty saying sweet thanks. So like I said, we'll get into the running back buys and sells here as we progress through the show. Yeah, no, we got it. So we'll get back to it. So now that we're caught up in the chats, we'll get to our scheduled programs. It's okay. If you guys are watching, just go in the description after the show. Yeah, I'm going to put the chapters in there so you can just skip right forward to the, QB buys or sells or whatever position you're looking for. So you could just skip to whatever section you want. Otherwise, we'll continue to take your Q&As and we'll jump into the news and notes and injury updates here now. So let's see. Or actually, let's do our quick Thursday night preview. Giants at Niners. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll go Thursday night preview. Quick start sit. Not really too much to discuss here in this game. Giants are 1-1 coming in to face my 49ers, who are 2-0. We have a 10-point. We're favored by 10 heading into this game. Little under. I mean, you guys beat them by 40, so I would think maybe line might be like minus 20 at least. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. This might be. Well, we'll see what we can do to them since you and I meet week 5. But this is a classic matchup between Classic Mike and I. Our two teams doing battle here Thursday night. It's a 44.5 point over under. Kind of mid. Not too high there. They got Barkley ruled out, obviously, or not obviously, but in case you haven't heard, Barkley has been officially ruled out. We do have
holding out on that, and that was kind of pretty annoying. Nobody knew what to do. It was like, well, is he going to play or not?
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's going to be a game time decision, and they ruled him out immediately today after he was saying he was feeling good yesterday. So as Barkley owners that are out there, I'm sure you're happy about that. You don't want to come back playing on a short week. Just get rested and come back. It's only week 2. You don't want to lose this guy, to something else worse, for the rest of the year. So
why play him against a run stopping 49er defense anyways?
I mean, Kyron did just kind of go off against us, but the Rams know us.
I know. I don't want to hear
McVay knows Shanahan. Yeah. So I walked right into it.
He's the first guy that scored 20 plus fantasy points since.
Got me with the stat too. Dang. Yeah. You got me. I just got Rick rolled. Basically, I feel like I got Rick rolled there. That was good. I'll give you that. That was good, Frank. So Giants wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson. He's listed as questionable, but everyone's expecting him to play and make his season debut. He's coming back from that torn ACL that he suffered early last season. Probably the most skilled Giants receiver that's kind of there. He and Daniel Jones did show a good rapport. But again, obviously coming back from this ACL, we saw how that affected Godwin when he first came back last year, kind of went out right away with that hamstring. I think Wan'Dale stayed out a little later, but we'll see how Robinson, looks. So I think he's about at that 12, month mark for his recovery. But they hadn't tried to ramp him up or do anything, crazy. So we'll see how he does. I mean, he could definitely emerge as a target. Maybe someone, you guys, if you have an extra roster spot because of all the injuries. I mean, right now I'd be just backing up any, taking any backup or handcuff running back you can get. But if you maybe did draft a little running back heavy and you're sitting okay there, maybe you could take a shot, at Wan'Dale Robinson at being a, potential guy that, can be a nice, maybe even low end wide receiver 2, more like a wide receiver 3 or flex. So, that's what I'm looking at for there. On the Giants side, that's on the Giants side. On my Niners side, you have Brandon Ayuk. They're saying his status is very fluid at the moment. Hasn't been ruled out. They're essentially calling him a game time decision. He's dealing with that whole chest shoulder kind of situation when he landed real hard, making that catch in the first drive last week. So we'll see how it goes. Not too worried about it. I mean, if anything, I'd probably rather have him, sit. Not like the Niners are lacking in any, positions. We have Debo still. Juwan Jennings can get the job done as a second receiver. We have McCaffrey. We have Kittle. We can actually use Kittle this game. If he's not there. So, of all the teams out there, we can absorb one of our playmakers being out. Not for the long haul, but for a week, especially against the Giants on a short week, we should be fine. But of course, because I said that, we all know it's probably going to happen now. Yeah. So there we go.
You guys are having a hard time with the Rams, man. I'm telling you.
We always have a hard time with him. It's
Yeah.
not anything new.
know.
As far as starts, you're starting all the Niners main guys. Brock Purdy's kind of like, high end QB2. You're probably not starting him in a 1 QB league. I mean, if you need to make the decision, between like Brock Purdy and Joe Burrow, that might be a little tough. You might just want to go ahead and throw Purdy in this week. Hopefully he gets you like 225, 250 and 2 touchdowns. It's going to be a lot more than
Hopefully.
what Burrow's kind of been scoring the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
So, could be a little decent there. But with someone like Burrow playing on Monday night, not having the full extent of his calf injury, that calf strain, it would be I would probably pull the trigger on Purdy over Burrow this week if you had to make that decision.
Asking about that, the Matt Breida start. Going to use a committee, especially against the 49ers defense.
Not in my opinion.
Even worth the start?
No, not my opinion.
I wouldn't bother.
I mean, if you have nobody else, like you had Chubb go down, you missed out on Ford, and you're staring at like Samaje Perine, like maybe you're better off starting Breida. So maybe I would start Breida in that league where I'm hurting. But yeah, I mean, if you have, there's quite a few other options I would consider before rolling out Breida this week.
Yeah.
Depends what your options are. Beggars can't be choosers sometimes, though, Squidward.
Sometimes you get garbage time stuff, though, too.
Yeah, you never know. But I know our defense is going to be trying to shut them out. Like they're going to want to match what the Cowboys did. It's personal at this point. It's personal at this point. We're trying to beat up on the Giants as much as we can, just like you guys did.
Defense, second highest scoring offense, something like that right now.
Yeah, crazy. You're definitely firing up 49ers defense on this one. Fire up your Niners. If Ayuk does play, I mean, we saw him kind of play through it. He did have that one kind of drop, which the injury clearly, played a role on that. But, after halftime, he probably got a little shot or something in it. Played a little better, definitely in some pain. And it is a short week, but if he's out there, I'm probably starting him. You drafted him as probably like wide receiver 3 or a flex anyway. So, get him in there. Even if he's your wide receiver 2, I'd still play him. So Giant side of it, I'm sitting Breida.
Anyway, so he's safe. So start Ford.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, if you have Ford instead of Breida, I don't know if there's just the 2, but yeah, if it's between Ford and Breida, then go Ford. Even though he's playing against this Buffalo defense who just held Jacobs to negative rushing yards, I'll still throw him in the lineup. Giant side of the ball, I'm probably not starting any wide receivers over there. You're going to probably have to start Darren Waller if you drafted him that way. It just sucks because he's going to, of course, be going against Hufanga and Fred Warner. One of the 2 best, cover safeties, cover linebackers out there. Obviously, on the top defense.
The ball's got to go somewhere, man.
Yeah, it's going to be there, and let's just hope. You guys are just hoping Bosa doesn't. This isn't the week he comes back. I could see him get like 3 sacks this week. But Daniel Jones can kind of shimmy out of the pocket. We'll probably give up a couple runs to him. Like we'd rather put the hit on the quarterback than let him just get in a rhythm and start completing passes. So run him off his spot. Again, not starting Breida, probably sitting Daniel Jones if I have other options, in a 1 QB, you're probably gonna have to start him in your 2 QB. And again, receivers, I'm probably staying away from everybody. Maybe Jalen Hyatt catches a pass or 2. Like I like him better in like a best ball, which you don't have to make those start sit decisions. But yeah, I'm pretty much staying away from everybody else, Hodgins and all the other gang over there. Their gang of receivers that they got running out over there. Anything else you want to add on that? Are you ready to get in some news and notes?
Let's move on. I think we covered the game.
There we go.
Start San Francisco, sit the Giants. Pretty simple.
Pretty much. There we go. So you could have just said that and moved on.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to just you wanted to talk about your team. I was just waiting around. I was like,
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate it.
I get it.
I appreciate it.
Like it literally was 1 sentence.
There we go. Yeah, you're good. You're right. You're right. All right. So we got our news topics here and injury updates. First thing, of course, I want to start off with is the Chubb news. We mentioned it already. He's officially placed on injured reserve today. You started seeing him get dropped in leagues. I gave the little crying emoji to everyone who dropped him because I'm right there with them in the leagues that I had to drop him. He's definitely being ruled out for the season. May require 2 separate surgeries. And at this point, we're, just kind of wishing him the best and hoping he even just makes it back to the football field. It would almost be a miracle if that happened. The injury he suffered, if you guys, went and followed Dr. Morris and the fantasy doctors over there, They did a even more in-depth, video now that it's been a few more days. So go check that out so you can get there. But with that news, we heard about Kareem Hunt, taking a look and going over there. Obviously, you guys probably know by now that he was officially signed and a deal reportedly worth up to about $4 million. So he's going to be going back to the Browns. Obviously familiar with the offense. So, once you heard he was kind of going back there, I pretty much thought it was a no-brainer. I'm personally not too worried about it. I think it's still Jerome Ford's job to lose, so to speak. He ran very well, 16 carries, 106 yards. Should have had 2 touchdowns, but fell literally an inch short on that long run. Had to come out for a blow, and Pierre Strong was able to convert it. But Browns coach Kevin Stefanski came out and did say Jerome Ford is the RB1. So he said that yesterday. They signed Hunt, came back out, said it again today. So there we go. Anything else you want to add on that?
Hunt still needs, they added the fact that Hunt needs to get back into football shape. Obviously he's familiar with the playbook, but I think that obviously they just need to have the depth, of course, and him knowing the playbook and being familiar only helps all that. So eventually he'll get some touches. I don't think that initially is going to hurt Ford at all. But eventually he'll spell forward or anything. You know what I mean? If anything, go down or whatever. Because Hunt can't
Ford's not getting 100% of the touches like McCaffrey and Zach Moss did. He's not at that level. But I expect it to be like 70-30, like maybe 75. And I think I was telling Tycoon this, maybe like 70-25 and 5. Like maybe even Pierre Strong or some of their third running back still gets a couple touches here and there. But I think the bulk of the work, he's going to be the RB1. So
who's late today?
Oh, Ron, we beat you finally. Well, he probably thought we were just getting started right now. So
yeah,
he's like, these guys are always late.
These guys take about a half hour.
To get started anyway. Yeah, probably only miss half of the show, but yeah, we're already halfway over now.
Here too. Eli's up here. What's up, Eli?
What's up, guys? How you doing? There we go. We'll move on here. So that's how we are with Kareem Hunt. Again, I don't think it's
drama.
Yeah. So there we go. The other big news that came out today. Yeah, the Rams trade running back Cam Akers to the Vikings. Goes and wrecks everybody's hopes and dreams of Madison coming back. I just actually thanked Tim from the Fantasy Frontline. Shout out to them over there. In the Dynasty League I'm in with him, I was trying to get Madison, I think Tuesday night. He declined my trade. I offered him a third for him. I think a third and a fourth or something like that. He countered with Marvin Mims in a third for Madison. And I was like, I'm not, giving up a nice young wide receiver and a third round pick for a guy I just kind of want, for this year. And then the very next day, now he goes, now Cam Akers gets trades over there. And I was like, thanks for not accepting that trade. So
look it out.
Kind of save me from myself. I rely on you guys every once in a while to do that.
Pretty decent offer with Jerome Ford in the Dynasty League earlier this year. And I didn't take it. I was meaning to hit up Flint because I did like Ford, and I was like, you know what, I should send something to him. And then this whole thing happened. I was like, damn, why did I send something? I would have sent the same trade back. He would have took it. I would have got him for nothing.
Oh,
yeah,
that happened. See, you're on the other side of what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to just hit that trade button, man. You never know what's going to happen. I'm all for the trade. Shake some stuff up. Right? Yeah, shake it up. Don't be so scared. Shake it up. It's just another guy. So there we go. So we'll move on here. They got a 7th round or 6th round pick out of it. So Akers in a 7th to the Vikings in exchange for a 6th. I mentioned Eckler earlier. He didn't practice today, dealing with an ankle injury still. He was on the field though, watching, talking to the running backs coach over there. So still out there with the guys. I don't know if he's just out there watching and not just like, normally you kind of hear like, oh, guys are rehabbing or off to the side or something like that. But if he's just like sitting there watching, like literally hanging out with the coach,
or something, kind of warming up.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe he's coming back.
They're leading on to that, right? Like, it's not that serious, but it's serious, right?
So And if you really, I watched that Matt Harmon and Eckler his podcast yesterday, and by the way he was talking, because of course he questioned him about it, and he can't really say anything. But he was like, if you're trying to read in between the lines, like as to what he was saying, like he's not saying I'm going to be back soon. If you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Like he was kind of like, we all deal with injuries. Yeah, so do I. I mean, you guys seen the intro? Of course we have Eckler. Like, how could we not? And yeah, man, I mean, it was just, you wanted him to say, oh yeah, I'm really going to give it a go, but he's not saying anything. And they're always saying, like the whole time he's just saying all the reports are basically not even close to what really happens internally. That's all just for media and stuff. I really love getting the inside of it, actually listen to an actual player talk about fantasy and his own fantasy team. Like, you guys got to go check it out, man. And we got to get Eckler on the show. We got to try to really work on that.
We got to make that happen, right?
Yeah, we got to make that happen, because he's just like so down to earth, and he's in the NFL, but like he had Josh Jacobs, and he's like, how does he get negative points like for me, And of course he has himself in a couple leagues, and he's like, yeah, I'm trying to get myself back in the lineup too, So it was just funny on, hearing it from that perspective. So very cool to see. So that's our Eckler update. We have Anthony Richardson, Colts quarterback, as you guys know. He's in the concussion protocol still. He's not practicing today, so just something to keep your eye on. Might have to go fire up Gardner Minshew. We mentioned him on the waiver wire show in those super flex leagues. Definitely hope you went and grabbed him. And so there you go. Mike McDaniels says Jalen Waddle is still in the concussion protocol as well. He's not practicing today. And Tyreek Hill popped up on the injury report. Apparently he was limited with an ankle injury that he suffered in the second half of the game last week in the Sunday night game. So just something to kind of keep your eyes on throughout the week. As far as the Jags wide receivers go, Zay Jones dealing with a knee injury. He didn't practice today, according to Dougie P. We had Calvin Ridley. If you guys remember, he collided with the goalpost. I haven't seen that happen like in years, where someone actually just hit the goalpost going for a pass. Yeah, not being aware of where it is. Kind of hit his leg, kind of, got folded up a little weird, kind of walked off a little gingerly, but he did play the rest of the game. Didn't do great, obviously, in week 2. I'm sure as you Ridley owners out there know, but they're saying he's fine and he'll be good to go this weekend. So that's good to hear that it wasn't like something that came out later that's like, crazy that he's dealing with. So, another one of those freak injuries.
He'll be fine.
Yeah. So another one that was kind of a surprise here was Amon-Ra St. Brown popping up on the injury report. We saw him kind of going in and out of the game. They said it was just calf cramps. We saw him grabbing, the back of his calf. Everyone was, I'm sure worried. And then they just came out that it was just cramps, and we saw him, finish the game. But he popped up today dealing with a toe injury. I don't know if I've seen kind of conflicting reports, whether it's like turf toe or like a, toe sprain or break even. So depending on what it is, like if it's a sprainer, and I think shout out to Ron, I think he was mentioning it in the chat earlier in our ambassador league. He was saying, if it's like a toe sprain or, a potential break or something, like, yeah, it might be messed up for a little while, but he should come back and be fine. But if it's like turf toe, that kind of thing like lingers, which I think turf toe is kind of like a type of sprain, but I know it's just, it lingers a lot longer than, maybe even like a little break or something that will, little fracture that will kind of heal and you stay off it for a couple
Coach
weeks.
Prime had that for a while when he was with Dallas, and he had a whole season of just dealing with this turf toe situation.
Yeah, you got to wear like special shoes and weird padding inside and all that crazy stuff. So I think didn't Mike Thomas deal with like turf toe for a while too before he had his whole total ankle situation? So that turf toe is always
compensating for that toe.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens there. Also with the Lions, David Montgomery, who's dealing with that weird thigh knee potential injury. They're saying thigh still. He didn't practice today. So definitely something to keep your eye on. We'll move on here to the Panthers. Bryce Young, he didn't go through practice today. It was just a walkthrough, but he's apparently dealing with an ankle injury. So again, just something to keep your eye on. Kadarius Toney also dealing with the toe. I don't know.
Toe people here, huh?
Again, we got toes and hammies going on. And speaking of hammies, Isaiah Pacheco's now dealing with the hamstring injury. Just when we thought maybe we were over those hammies, they're still rearing their ugly heads. Andy Reid did say it's not a tear or anything serious, so we'll just see how that kind of goes. But maybe kind of keep your eye on Jerick McKinnon, maybe even CEH if he's out there again for us, guys that are starting P. Ryan and freaking David Montgomery. I might have to go grab CEH if Pacheco's not healthy or maybe misses this week. So there could be a potential running back play for you there. You have Jamal Williams dealing with his hamstring injury. He left the game early. So we're kind of looking for Keandre Miller to participate. He practiced in full today, and he might be set to make his debut. But the big thing, of course, is Alvin Kamara facing that 3-game suspension. This will be the last game he misses, and he should be back and ready to go week 4. And we'll definitely get into him.
That leads me
later.
Not to lead it off too much, but just thoughts on Keandre Miller.
There you go.
Because he got a one game. You're gonna definitely. I mean, when Kamara gets back, Kamara's gonna take the reins again.
Yeah.
But Williams is hurting, so you can definitely use him for one game, and he's looking really good.
Yeah, if you
got that week out of that guy for sure.
Yeah, so we'll see how he does. Obviously he's been battling his own injuries, which is why he's just now finally playing in week 3. So we'll see what happens, but they don't really have anybody else. It's either him or Tony Jones Jr., who did kind of carry the load last week because they didn't want to put Miller in because he was, again, kind of limited all week and hadn't really gone through full practices. But they are expecting him to most likely it'll probably be a split between him and Jones unless Miller catches fire, and he might kind of go off this week. So I have several best ball teams with him on, so I kind of hope he does.
I just read this one the whole way. I just want to sidetrack us for a second.
I got one more. Just give me one more news thing, and then we'll get into the chats, and then we'll go into the next segment. Because this is going to be a chapter. This is going to be a chapter. Remember that. So last news note we had is Raiders wide receivers Jacoby Myers, who missed the Buffalo game with the concussion. He was limited in practice today, still working himself through that concussion protocol. So maybe there's a chance he goes this week. And then Devontae Adams, who we remember took that brutal hit this weekend. Didn't quite say he went through like a concussion protocol, but he was listed as full today in practice. And they said he was in a game day concussion protocol evaluation, according to Brian Batko. He says he doesn't think he's ever seen that on an injury report before. So a game day concussion protocol evaluation, game day decision kind of a thing.
You're not playing, especially with that concussion.
He says he said he practiced in full, and the team's expecting him to be a full go. So there it is. I'm firing him
limited in practice. We're limited in practice Wednesday. I practiced in full. You didn't reread your own thing.
No. Do you see it right here? Look, I highlighted it for you.
Oh, Adams. I was talking about.
I was talking about Adams.
Myers. Okay, never mind. We were missing.
All right. They're both dealing with concussions, but Jacoby Myers was limited. Adams is good.
That's what I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
Myers is not playing. Adams is playing.
All good. See, no, but I need you checking me on that kind of stuff. I don't want to come out here saying wrong stuff to other people here.
I was like, wait.
So I appreciate that. Good looking out. All right, so that ends our news topics and notes. There's a bunch of other injury news and stuff too, but those are the ones I felt were pretty relevant
almost
for
bringing
us.
Me down at this point. Let's go. Man.
Yeah, and I try to keep it short too because it gets a little rough. But obviously, a lot of these injuries are the big reasons why we're trading and why we have to make these roster moves. So again, this is the roster management show. So that's what we're here for, man. Hope you guys get your lineups right heading into week 3. So you want to run the chat? Where are we at? I'll give you control.
We'll go back to Neanderthal ball here.
Yeah.
I just put up forward for trade for offered to Bobby for Arthur Juan, and AJ he has AJ on the block.
I mean, you might be able to pull that off, but I mean, if you do, good job. You're buying low on AJ. I know Bobby watched the show, so I don't want to say too much and kind of ruin your flow there. But yeah, if you can get that done, I wouldn't even mind adding somebody else there to still give him a wide receiver, just give him forward and another little person there just to make that happen. And I still think you're buying low on Arthur Juan there. So well done. I might have to jump in on your trade for that, but it's okay. Eli kind of agrees with me. He's probably like, "You're not getting AJ Brown for Ford, my guy." You don't know our league, man. Our league does some crazy stuff sometimes.
You never know. I mean,
So you got to throw it out there.
Some crazy trades. Even here the other day, some guy was mentioning was getting traded. Who was it? I don't know. The top end guy for some guy they just got picked up off the waiver wire. And I was like, that happens all the time.
Yeah, I think you traded Puka for somebody like that. Yeah, we were talking about it on Monday. So
somebody or something happened.
Yeah, we'll go back to the. You guys go back to the show and watch it. Yeah,
maybe Puka and Ford.
Yeah, see something like that. Yeah, that might work. That might actually be a little too much. You might be able to get a little back for AJ Brown.
Yeah, you could get
another weaker player, but yeah, that might be a little. But I wouldn't mind. I mean, it's two guys you picked up off the waiver wire. You're trading for a first round pick, so get it done. Like I'd still, if push came to shove, I'd still do it. I'd try to do something else, and then I'd be like, all right, that's when you leave that trade pending, and you try to counter. And if they reject that one, you go, okay, I'll take this one. We'll do that.
Right.
But again, that's why I'm the dentist. So go ahead. What's the next one? You got control of chat.
Let's go for this one right here. You got Eli talking. I traded Mixon, Terry Moss, and Mike Williams for DK Eckler and Elijah Mitchell. Today I'm 2-0, so I feel confident waiting on him.
Absolutely. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Listen, Terry Moss.
I like that. You upgraded Mike Williams to DK, which to me I think is kind of an upgrade. You know, DK dealing with a little bit of ribs there, but he's still the alpha there. Or if you just want to call him a wash, but I know he was drafted ahead of Williams. Obviously, you're getting Eckler, who's way better than Moss, and then you're getting Elijah Mitchell, who's not as good as Terry and Mixon, but that Eckler is worth two of those guys. Already. I mean, yeah, Mixon and Moss for Eckler easily, and then
I feel confident on waiting on him. So yeah,
for sure.
There's no.
I like that trade.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully he's a better situation than my friend, the wide receiver. I can't even think of his name right now. Puka's replacement.
Cup?
Yeah, Cup. His Cup is also out. Like
Puka is Cup's replacement. Let's make sure we
that's what I'm saying.
Pay respect to the triple count.
Yeah.
Rain and Champ over here.
No, that's what I meant. So, you know what I meant.
Yeah, exactly. No, I got you. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
so well done, Eli. Well done.
I got Cup and Eckler. I'm waiting on my guys. I'm not panicking. You got to wait. I got Kamara.
Even 0-2, I'm not worried. I'm not even worried at 0-2, unless you're like 0-2, like on the verge of 0-3. Yeah. You got to have some hope. Like if you just kind of had some injuries and your guys aren't like done for the year, you're probably fine. It was a weird, quirky week 1. Week 2 was back to kind of normal. So you almost kind of got to wash week 1 a little bit, unless you like totally killed it week 1. I don't know what to tell you then, because there's kind of weird folks that went off week 1. So anyway, we'll move on here. Who else we got in the chat?
They're talking about him. They're kind of going through here. We got Akers or P Ryan in full PPR.
Domir, you look new to me here, man. If you're new to us, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for us, man. Always taking your live Q&A Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sunday mornings. But we'll get to it here. Obviously, Akers for P Ryan here in full PPR. I'd take the Akers side on this one. We saw P Ryan kind of get worked in week 1. Kind of lost a little more of the role week 2. Just this Broncos offense is just kind of weird and awkward to me anyway. And maybe kind of Akers can come in and be more of like a passing down back here in this offense for the Vikings who, want to throw the ball all over. So especially like in half and in this case, full PPR leagues, I'll definitely take Akers. But again, anything happens to Javonte, he's still a great handcuff, but I'd roll the dice on this one. Like you're not risking much. It's just P Ryan. So I'd take a chance on him.
Go for
Or, he's saying Akers for P Ryan. I'd keep the Akers side. Yeah. Opposite of everything I said. I thought you were getting Akers, but yeah, I'd take the Akers side in this one. What about you?
I would take the Akers side also because you just have a little bit more upside. It doesn't look like P Ryan's getting too many touches, too much look, but he's an excellent handcuff to have. But if you're trying to upgrade to have a shot at somebody who may get some looks and you need somebody as a better flex, basically this is what it is, a flex on a bye week or something. Or,
might just be like a bye week
filler. Yeah. They're not starters by no means, not right now.
Either way, you're not like, let me fire this guy up. Yeah, you're not.
Yeah. So I mean,
you need an injury for anything to happen.
Bench guys, don't mind trading bench guys. They don't make a difference to me.
Yeah. I could see how you're talking about it though. Like if you did want Pirine, if you're not the biggest Akers fan, which I don't know why you'd have him in the first place, you would think you probably would have just avoided him. But if, obviously you saw the potential there, he did have 22 carries for like 29 yards, which I probably would have spite dropped him, in real life too. Kind of like the Rams did. Just, I'm going to throw this other guy in and see what he can do. Like if I give you 22 carries, I could probably get 29 yards on 22 carries. I'm just saying.
I think they've been trying to like find somebody these last couple of years, but we were just talking all these guys that didn't make the cut, like Hendo and whatever these other guys they just mentioned earlier.
Right.
It's just like, wait a minute, now they just like, oh, we got one.
Yeah.
Camp. Bye.
Yeah, so they got rid of him.
But Ronald did mention a good point. But with turf toe, you can't plant, and a broken toe is just pain management.
That's what he was talking about in there. See, I knew Ron would come through. That's why I like having him here on the stream. So there we go. Let's see.
And he is replying to that as well as Pirine. As of the next couple of weeks, Akers will get off snaps until week 4, I'd say. But Akers is long term, is worth the risk. And yeah, that's what we're saying. Is I think Akers might give you more looks long term.
Right.
Yeah, you're not gonna. It's not gonna be right here, right now. So. And Doomer did come back saying I'm good right now, but how about Roshan Johnson? Same story.
I'd take Roshan. I was like, I'd take Roshan over those two for sure. Yeah, if you can get Roshan instead of Pirine, I'd trade Akers for Roshan.
Yeah,
absolutely. That gets me excited. If you saw me perk up when you said that, that perked my interest. Yeah, now you're talking. So Doomer, go grab that one. So what else we got in there? We got a lot of chats going.
He does it. Yeah, Roshan's the best option of those. Yeah, long term. I'm trying to cut through some of these things. Not that we don't want to read some, but a lot of it is chat amongst yourselves. So that's okay, guys. That's
keep it going.
This channel is forward. Yeah, exactly. Have a conversation on here.
Don't mind us.
Yeah. Let's see. What is that? I'm getting Elijah Mitchell says I have McCaffrey, so I made it feel a little better.
Oh, even better. Yeah, I love that trade even better than. Yeah, you killed it. That was a great trade, man. Great trade. We got the Citizen. You see that one there? That's a new name.
Citizen. Yeah, let's check it out. The Citizen. Welcome to the Get Right Fantasy Network here.
Yes,
I got offered Eckler for Puka. I got Chase, Adams, and Cup. RBs, I got Gibbs, Javante, and Connor.
It's the only time I'm going to tell you to stop watching the show, but go accept the trade for Eckler for Puka immediately, and then come back, and we'll all celebrate together. Yeah. Especially if you have Cup, and now you're splitting them up. Yeah, get Eckler. You're buying them super low right now. A guy you got off the waiver for literally the RB2 overall, like pick, whatever you top 5 first round pick. That's a no brainer, man. Go hit that accept button, and welcome to Get Right. You're in the right spot if you're pulling off trades like this. Yeah. So
because you don't want Puka and Cup together, you're just waiting for Cup to come back. You did right by picking up Puka. Now go get yourself a better guy in Eckler. He will be back. He'll be fine. His friend.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. We're all big Eckler fans here. If you make sure you go watch the intro if you didn't catch it. So
give up Eckler, I would go for a house.
See, Eli knows what's going on. Yeah, it's rough if Eli and I are agreeing too. Yeah, that's how you know it's a no-brainer for sure. Yeah, see, even run, go get Eckler. So yeah, just right now. So yeah, he said he'll be back. He said he'll be back. So there you go. He's like, I'll be back. There you go. So we'll see you when you get back, man. Let us know when that goes through.
Yeah,
for sure. Hopefully you don't have like vetoes or anything in your thing. So
I just realized I went wrong. He's getting Eckler. That's crazy good value. Yeah, no, you're on it. You got it right.
You actually said it right. Yeah, you said if you take Puka and give up. Oh no, he thought he said he was giving up Eckler for Puka. So I read it the way we should have thought about it. Like if you don't get Eckler for Puka, then we're gonna come strangle you. So well said. So there we go.
Caught up
finally caught up. There we go. So yeah, keep dropping your stuff in the chat, man. We'll get to it as we get in between these segments, but we will hit that segment now. If you guys made it this far and didn't hear me say it last time, and you're watching this not live, you can go in and to the description and you'll see the chapters in there. So if you just want to hear, those QB buys, or if you, next week, if you happen to be watching and don't want to go through everybody else's individual team questions, and just get to our buys and sells, you can hit the chapters down in the description and get to it there. But right now, we'll go ahead and transition to that. So this is the buy, sell, trade, target show. What read?
We didn't even do the underdog.
Oh, my underdog fantasy promo. Got to, man. We got to pay the bills over here. If you guys didn't know, you guys see it up there. Frank will get it up on the screen here in a second. Underdogfantasy.com, man. Our sponsor, the guys who make us be able to do this here, man. If you haven't checked them out already, man, make sure you go check them out. They're a great best ball platform. They have a bunch of big time tournaments where they're, Best Ball Mania 4, where they were giving out, I don't know I think 15 million in total prizes, 3 million to first, 2 million to second, 1 million to third. Unfortunately, that tournament is closed now, but you can still get in and get in on those pick'ems. They're also doing weekly, daily kind of DFS type weekly drafts. So you can always get into those. But the things I love doing in season with Underdog Fantasy are their pick'ems. They have their higher lowers or rivalry picks. They even have insurance on those picks to really give you a chance on there. And they're even giving out when you do sign up and use that promo code. Not only will you get 100% deposit match on your first deposit, but you will also get a free pick'em, a mystery pick'em special, in addition to whatever whatever site-wide special that they're rolling out. So again, use that promo code GetRight. Helps out the show, gets you 100% deposit match up to $100, gets you a mystery pick'em special, and whatever site-wide special that they're running this week. So make sure you guys go check them out. And again, use that promo code wherever it is. Get right. All right. So there we are. What's up, Frank? Oh, there you go. See, you got it. You got it. You got it. There we go. All right, man. So let's get into it. We got our buy, sell, trade targets. Yeah, there we go. So buy, sell, trade targets, man. This is why we're here. Let's talk about them. So we have them broken down here by position. So we'll start with QB buys. Do you have anybody on your QB buy list that you're interested in?
Well, I'm looking at who you got here, and I would definitely be interested in Lamar and Richardson.
Okay.
Both are running quarterbacks. I like the new age running quarterbacks. They do seem to keep,
give you a nice floor.
Coming. Yeah, give you a nice floor because that running just makes sure that you get those couple points in. And both Lamar's not doing that great, but he is warming up. You got Mark Andrews back, so I think brighter days ahead. Anthony Richardson showed his bright spot, but now with the concussion protocol, things that he's going through, it's a good time to buy low on these guys. I think I'd definitely go buy them.
There you go. The guy I had on there, Joe Burrow, obviously dealing with the calf strain. If you can go buy him low right now, maybe train like Russell Wilson, who's the current QB3 because of that Hail Mary, somehow sitting at QB3 overall right now after 2 weeks. You have Jordan Love, who I kind of, I guess, segue into ourselves as QB2, and like Kirk Cousins. If I can turn into 3 of those guys, maybe Cousins I might want to keep just because of that passing volume, but his floor is kind of brutal. But if you kind of have been dealing with Burrow anyway, that potential is there. But I just think Burrow, they start off slow anyway. I'm still in his corner. Obviously, if it comes out and he gets placed on IR or something, then it'll be a bad move. But again, sometimes those are the risks you have to be willing to take to be able to upgrade a position. And again, especially if you can, buy low, maybe you wait a week. If he happens to miss a game or something, you can buy even lower and, see what happens there. So, Mac Jones, Jordan Love, someone like that, if you can turn him into Burrow, then I'd make sure I get that done. I had T-Law on here as well. He's sitting at QB 22 right now. He was drafted about the QB 7 or 8 overall. I just think, with his weapons that he has, he's definitely someone I'm looking to, target if I can in a trade. If I'm looking to get an upgrade.
He didn't have too good of a game this last game, so
yeah.
People
might be an
definitely
opportunity.
be doubting him. Yeah, it's an opportunity. They're down on him, and people are hurt. Whatever. Calvin is that little bit out there, but thinking, oh, maybe he's not doing so well. He'll be fine. You got to think long term.
Yeah, there's going to be ups and downs. You can't be so have too much recency bias. Yeah. So those are some of my buys. It's kind of hard with the QB position just because it is kind of so limited. There's only kind of so many guys you have there. Obviously you're trying to upgrade, at the position if you can. But yeah, those are definitely some targets I have. Any other buys that you have, or
No, QBs. I think those are the good ones to look at.
pretty good ones?
Um,
Okay.
most everybody's already, I don't think you're moving. I'm not a big mover or buyer or seller on quarterbacks. I don't think
QBs are kind of tough, yeah,
they're tough. They're kind of tough. You know what I mean? So
because you can always find like a Jared Goff or a Geno Smith or someone like that on the wire. So
yeah,
like,
and then you're
you
like,
don't necessarily feel like you need to trade away Burrow. You can just bench
yeah,
him for a while and throw one of these other guys in there until he gets his what together. So
Mojo
uh,
back.
yeah, exactly. So there we go. I kind of mentioned the QB sells. Like I mentioned, the QB one right now, Kirk Cousins, Jordan Love sitting at the QB3, and Russell Wilson sitting at the QB3. Obviously, the way we drafted it, we thought that was going to be Mahomes, Allen, and Hurts in some order, but instead it's Cousins, Love, and Wilson. So I don't know how to really explain it, but obviously it's not about a week-to-week type thing. It's going to be over the long haul. And again, this is why we don't overreact. So again, if I can sell these guys and turn them into a Burrow, Mahomes, or Hurts, any of these guys that might be underproducing Lamar, I'm definitely looking for it. One
Yeah,
of the
you can
weirdest,
definitely sell high on Love and Wilson. I mean, Wilson just had one of his best games I've seen him have over in Denver. I mean, fantasy wise, points wise.
yeah,
So and I think Jordan Love might be the real deal, man. He's pretty getting the job done over there in Green Bay, and he's got some of his weapons hurt and injured, and he's got Jay Reed now popping off, and Watson should be coming back, and hopefully Watson
he's
comes
only
back. Dubs would be doing better. I think he's doing all right, man.
yeah, and I mean he's had 2-3 touchdown games so far with kind of nobody rookie wide receivers.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers couldn't even do it last year, so I don't know what's
Yeah, I
going
mean,
on. Something's
that's what I'm
changed.
saying. He's doing some things over there with we would think nothing. I mean, but they are somebody's to them. You know what I mean? Like eventually they're going to be names. I mean, everybody's still drafting Christian Watson within the fourth, fifth round, anyways, this year. So I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah, he's just getting another weapon back. And
yeah,
then obviously we'll have Aaron Jones back, as well.
yeah,
So
exactly.
and he's a threat in the air. He had one of the long receiving touchdown last week, which is what got him hurt, pulling up on that hammy. So another one, another guy, I guess one kind of honorable mention guy would be Tua. The only reason he was kind of drafted as low as he was, everyone was, worried about him getting a concussion. I literally was getting in, I don't want to say arguments, but like literally during an entire mock draft, like find myself end up defending Tua. And I wasn't even like that big of a Tua fan, but the hate got so crazy and
So
like
thick,
just
right?
didn't make sense. They're just like, oh, I'm taking like Baker over Tua. And I'm just like, you guys are tripping. Like the dude has the best weapons. Like, and the fact that you can get him as like in the 10th round, like he's like the steal of the draft. So like if I didn't get Herbert in a lot of our paid leagues that we do, Tua was definitely my next target down there. And I think you and I talked about that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
He was I took him in several mocks. So if I could get Tua, or if, I just wanted to get Herbert, like I couldn't pass Herbert like in the 6th. I didn't want to wait till the 10th. And, you never know, Tua someone just might snag him in your,
Yeah.
your league, no matter how many times you mock.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it
so
doesn't
he's,
even matter. Yeah,
yeah. And how many people got concussions before he did? Like literally Jalen Waddle on his own team got a concussion before Tua did. And everybody was freaked out that Tua was never going to play football again.
At this point.
Yeah. Instead, he's like basically his first game through for 500 yards. It was like 466. So he's definitely someone.
We got Tyreek.
Yeah, that you can target. Yeah, you might have to buy low, or you might have to buy high on him, so to speak. But if that person that maybe was worried, or maybe they drafted someone higher than that, maybe Justin Herbert and Tua as your backup, then you might have a chance to go get him. And you're not taking the guy's first QB pick that he did on his team.
Be so inclined on him, so be like,
yeah, it might actually move him.
Yeah,
absolutely, especially if he's hurting for another position and you draft a different. So definitely have to give Tua some nod there. One name that I was kind of struggling, I don't know why I'm still staying on QBs. I guess I had a lot more on QBs than I thought. Justin Fields. He was one guy I couldn't put in a buy or a sell because I'm like literally in the middle. I don't know what to do with him. I know what his upside potentially is if they're rushing, but he's just not rushing right now. And they're like trying to like put this crazy offense together. Shout out to the Dynasty Pylon and the Brian and Tank over there that do their Chicago Bears show. So I've been listening to them the last couple weeks and hearing them go off on the rants and everything, and just talking about how how bad Fields is looking. Like I don't know if you saw that play where they had a perfect design concept run. The guy's wide open in the seam on the right, and DJ Moore has a quick out, on the left, and they have a post corner, or not post corner, but a 7 route, going, taking the safety this way. The other guy's coming right up the seam because they're running trips right. And I mean, you can go either way. You have your short or your long, and instead he just like panics and just runs right in the middle of the line and just gets engulfed by the entire line and takes a sack when he could have took like a little 5-yard out or scored a touchdown on a seam route.
And I think
how do you not make that read?
Well, sometimes it's you're trying to make a pocket pass or make him, not play to his skills. You know what I mean? You got to play to some guy's skill set and get him out of the pocket so he sees the field a little bit better. Sometimes people, you know what I mean? You got to let him improvise. Basically, I think he's more one of those kind of guys. At least right now, he's early in his career and needs to, still develop. He's got all the talent in the world, but I think that some of it's that it's not necessarily that it's the play calling. You know what I mean? Basically, you know what I mean? You got to play to what he's going to be able to do better. And if you could just have a design run for him, just let him run. Like, what's wrong with that?
Right. So yeah, I mean, it could definitely go either way there. So Fields, I don't know if he's a buy or a sell. Maybe he's just a hold. If you got him, hold him. If you don't have him, maybe don't target him. Like maybe throw an offer out there. Maybe you can get him for cheap or something, but I don't know what you give up for him. Like I'm keeping my running back handcuffs, especially if you're already good at QB. So I don't know. I just feel like Fields is in this weird kind of no man's land right now. Like his value is kind of just kind of dependent on how you feel. So I think I'm leaning more towards buy, just because again, we've seen him do it. We've seen him be a QB1 consistently in weeks because of the rushing. Just such a weird spot. Anyway, we'll move on. That's enough Justin Fields talk for me there.
I just want to finish it off with this because the Citizen did come back.
Oh, there we go.
And since it segues into what you were talking about. So here's my question. So I had to go say yes to that trade. Should I try
Zeckler?
Burrow? I have Tua and Stafford.
Yeah, I mean, if you could turn Stafford in like another piece, like Stafford in a piece and turn that into Burrow, especially with Stafford coming off, a couple good games and looking pretty competent against the Niners, could be a good opportunity to sell him high. Where is he sitting at here? He's QB 23 right now. Nothing crazy. 641 yards. He only has the one touchdown. That's why he's still QB 23 with literally only one touchdown. That's just, what I was kind of saying earlier. Puka might be the new Jacoby Myers because he can't score a touchdown because they just don't throw touchdowns there. Yeah, the one touchdown was thrown to the running back, Kyron Williams, last week against the Niners. Yeah. And then they ran it in twice against us, which again just doesn't.
Well, maybe that's just a bad example, Maybe
like
playing the 49ers,
It's crazy. Yeah, it's just a little weird. But again, they always play us different. So there you go. So we'll wrap up QBs there. What else we got in here? Where are we at? Where do we leave off in the chats? Oh, I see a couple new names in here.
I got you.
I think it was on
Eli. We haven't got to that point though. I better see.
We'll get there.
Buy low and
we'll get there.
I'm gonna be disappointed. He did have Calvin Ridley on the list. I don't think we have Javonte.
Oh, you're gonna tease him like that? No, my thoughts about Javonte. I was just talking about early in the show. He's a hard fade for me still till next year. I'll go get him in Dynasty, but redraft, I'm good. I'm okay being wrong on Williams. I'm okay. So there we go. Smokey the Cat is back. What's up, man? He says, "What's up, guys? Thoughts on this trade? DJ, London, and Muth for Waller and Olave. I like it. I like that one. It's upgrade, quantity for quality. I think you definitely got the quality. You got the best player in Olave. You can see the upside with DJ and London there, but wide receivers fairly deep, so to speak. I definitely like it more in like a 2 wide receiver, 2 flex, and 3 wide receiver. Hopefully you have some other depth. Maybe you picked up Puka or something like that. So you can give away a little depth there. But definitely like the Waller upgrade. Obviously a little banged up, dealing with this weird little.
I like the Olave upgrade. I don't know about the Waller upgrade. I like the Olave upgrade.
Muth hasn't been doing much. I mean, he scored a touchdown against the. He scored a touchdown week 1. Yeah. He didn't score a touchdown against the Suns. We wrecked his chest. Yeah, we wrecked him in the end zone.
0.2 last week or something, but he'll be back.
I like it. I'll take the Waller Olave side. Which side are you officially taking?
No, I take the Waller Olave side. I'm just saying,
Okay.
I like the Olave
It's
part of
close.
that side more than the Waller part.
There we go. We have Untamed Music. What's up, man? How's it going? Haven't seen you here before. If I have, I apologize. But if you're new and checking us out for the first time, welcome to Get Right Fantasy. Hopefully, hit that subscribe button for us. Anyone who's watching, hit that subscribe for us, man. We'll get to your questions here as we continue to talk about our buy sell trade targets. He said he just traded Mostert, Najee, and Love for Ramondre, Fields, and Gainwell. Our thoughts in a 14-team half PPR, 1 QB league.
Ooh, it's a man's league.
That's a man's league. Let's go. That's a great come up, I think. So I like it.
Najee and Love for Ramondre Stevenson, Fields, and Gainwell.
So he's on the buy side of Fields. Remember, I just had him in the middle.
He's buying
so
Fields,
he bought Fields for a guy
Ramonde's
that we
doing
mentioned as a
solid.
sell and Love.
Gainwell's coming up. Yeah, I like it.
Gainwell might be in a split, but I'm not big on Najee. Mostert can kind of get hurt anytime. Mondre, you could take or leave. Fields has, top 5 QB upside. Again, Gainwell might be in a split with Swift after his last performance, or he could go back to his same role, because we did hear Serrani say there's going to be games where he has weeks like he had last Sunday, and he's going to have weeks where he carries the load for us. So remember, I was saying that on the last show, and I was like, I don't know about that. Yeah, like he might go right back to the bench as soon as Gainwell's ready. So we'll see, man. But yeah, I like it personally. I'm for it. I don't think it's anything crazy. You kind of sold high on a lot of guys that I have kind of as sells here. Actually, I think I have, all these guys as sells for the most part, or we've had them here over these last couple weeks on our list. And I don't think we've had Mondre as a buy or sell, but I don't think he's bad, especially with all the running back injuries that are going on right now. He's like a top 5 running back. So, so there we go.
Eli liked it as well. Keep the Waller and Olave. Olave has extremely high ceiling. London DJ are eye candy, and they're getting a 9-11 point game. Don't do it. You scam the crap out of that guy. Great job in getting rid of the cinder block feet Najee, and Ramondre is great. Buy low on and Fields can only get better. So yeah, for sure. That's what we're talking about here. Thanks you and Eli and the people said I'm crazy. Yeah, no, you're not crazy at all.
Hey, come here. We'll tell you you're good. Come hang out with us here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Sunday mornings. You could be part of our Get Right group, man, and we'll just take all their money. So take down those championships. So keep hanging out with us here. So yeah, hopefully hit that subscribe button for us, man. We'd appreciate you hanging out with us here with us. What else we got in the chat here?
I'm going through to see, because
kind of just responding. Yeah, we got any other questions in there?
Cal?
Oh, they were kind of all talking to each other. Oh yeah, what's up, Cal Vista? Welcome.
I can get with running back Pierce and wide receiver Godwin.
That's one of those situations where, I mean, if you can
selling Dameon Pierce, but I think you got to hold him.
Yeah, I mean, if you are looking to sell him, I mean, it might, like we were kind of talking about earlier, that we'll get into a little bit later for wide receiver buys, but someone like Ridley maybe coming off a bad week. Lockett kind of came off a bad week. Maybe you can turn that into AJ Brown, depending on how the owner feels, but I don't think you can go that high. I'm sure you could get like Garrett Wilson in a piece for that if you feel Garrett Wilson is an upgrade over Godwin, but I don't really, I'm not trying to buy Garrett Wilson at the moment. I'm more trying to sell him. I'm honestly okay with Pierce and Godwin. But if you are looking for that upgrade, maybe Olave, he's getting a lot of targets. I kind of stay away from someone like Mike Evans. I think that's a little bit of fool's gold. And I think Godwin will, should be able to bounce back. He's just kind of, Baker's missed him on a couple end zone targets that he's had that I've seen that it could, completely turned his production around. And I just like Godwin in general. So I'm not like in a rush to trade these guys, but I'd kind of shoot for that like DK, Olave, type range. I don't think you can get into that like Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra. Obviously try. Like maybe you can get Devontae Smith just had a big game too. You're going to be like around that, type of area. Low end wide receiver 1, high end wide receiver 2 is what I'd be kind of shooting for there.
Hello? I think.
Yeah. Oh, I was just seeing if you had anything else that you want to add on that. I'm trying to be quiet for a second. I know it's rare.
No, no,
It's rare.
I think that maybe even go out for I'm not sure.
Keenan Allen, maybe.
You want somebody like that? Maybe on Ramon St. Brown. I don't know because he just got injured a little bit. There's a couple guys out there that
Yeah. I would try for those
and even
higher guys,
DK,
but
like you always say, you gotta see what they say. You never know, man. Like some
Yeah.
people may be down on some of
maybe
these
T
guys.
Higgins.
And
Yeah,
what-
maybe someone thinks they're selling high on T Higgins and not sure about Burrow's, history. I mean, obviously go for Chase, who I have. Here is one of my buys. I would definitely start with like Chase. Like, would you pull the trigger for Cup, or are you like just totally staying away for Cup? Because Pearson Godwin for Cup with him coming back in 2 weeks, I might take a stab on that. The way Stafford's looked, because he's looked decent. The line's protected him at least enough. I mean, they protected him against the Niners defense, which we know is good, that line. So they held up pretty well. And Stafford looked good. Like his arm looked good. He was making good decisions. And even if he just splits up Nakua's targets 10 and 10 each, like they'll still do well. And hopefully with Cup there, they can score some touchdowns. So I wouldn't be afraid to go after him either.
But Pierce's a bust. I don't know, but Godwin's solid.
Kinda.
Maybe DK Metcalf.
They're like he's splitting carries with Singletary and Dwyer Ogunbowale. Like, why is he getting touches? Like, he shouldn't. I'm with you there, Eli. I'm kind of upset, but the team I have Pierce on was an auction league. I got him as my first running back, not my RB1. I also have Eckler and Henry, so he's my RB3. So I don't mind, but he's in there right now because obviously he's there. Yeah. So yeah, okay. So DK. So I was right. We were right about that.
I found you guys last week. Thanks for doing the late night streams. Well, we got a job too, bro.
Yeah, we got regular jobs and families and stuff. Yeah, so this is when we get on. But we keep putting the content out there for you guys. So even if you happen to not catch us live, you can always watch it the next morning, man. Hopefully you can enjoy it just as much.
Join us in Sleeper.
Yeah, there you go, Frank. Look at you. Tell him where to find it.
Send us the questions there. Join the Sleeper community. All the content info here is in the description, so check it out.
Absolutely. I should probably put maybe I'll drop the link in there, in the actual chat. Maybe I should start doing that in the show. But yeah, what else we got? We caught up on the chat, so we got a couple more here.
Would you start Waller on the flex? I also have Dallas Goedert.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Oof.
They're playing the Niners next.
Goddard
right?
got and again, Hufanga, Warner. I'm not looking for that smoke. I might be the wrong person to ask here, Squidward. You know that. I can't do that.
I'm not a fan of the Niners, but I know better.
Goddard, I think has a better chance to score a touchdown. Let's put it that way.
Somebody just goes off anyways. Somebody's got to score.
It happens. Yeah, it happens. It happens. What else are we? Oh, shout out to you guys, man. Hey, I appreciate it. We got a lot of people watching right now, but I only got 4 or 5 likes on the. Hit that like button for us, guys. Yeah. It helps us just as much as the subscribe. We appreciate the subscribe, man. We just went over 970, so appreciate you guys in here for that.
We were just talking about that 960.
But yeah, I was gonna say, finally happy to be out of that 960 range. That was kind of stuck there for a little bit. But yeah, man. So keep hitting that like button for us, guys. We really appreciate it. Again, we're getting to your questions here. You got questions, comments, anything you want to contribute to the show? Drop it in the chat. And again, we'll put the chapters down there for anybody who's watching afterwards. If you want to skip through all this stuff, our interactions here between us and the live chat, and you want to just go straight to our buys and sells, you can get in the description later on and see the chapters there. Absolutely. So what else we got in there?
I got Roshan, Moss, Warren, AT, Kamara, Pierce, and Jacobs. What kind of upgrade do you think I could get? Well,
you go first because I'm trying to get the chat in there. There we go.
You can move on Pierce. I like Jalen Warren though. Shoot, yeah, I would move Pierce and Moss possibly, or to get somebody else. But because I like the fact that you have Kamara, and let's see what happens to AT when he comes back. But you have Jacobs, and then pretty soon you'll be starting Jacobs and Kamara anyways. Mm-hmm. So you can move on Pierce and Moss, I think.
Yeah, so those are the guys I'd be looking to trade. Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay to trade, like you said, Moss, Pierce, personally, Taylor, but I think with the way the running backs are going, you might want to hang on to him, and you have a nice stable here right now. But if you could take Moss and package him with something, or like Pierce and Godwin, like you mentioned, and upgrade him for like a DK or something like that. Looks like you went pretty RB heavy, so you got some nice depth there, and people are hurting for running backs now, so you can probably get a little more. Someone that just lost Chubb, or someone dealing with Eckler right now. A lot of opportunities out there. David Montgomery owners. Again, I'm starting freaking Demont and Samaje Perine in the league, and I don't even know if Demont's even going to play this week. And I don't due to injury, and I don't know if Perine's going to play this week just based on usage. So I'm in a tough spot there. I keep dwelling on that. It's like all I can think about at the moment. But anyway, it's a little hard to kind of answer that kind of question without seeing the full league and the details and stuff. But I will be happy to get into it. I just dropped the link in the chat right here that you can see. Come join our Get Right Fantasy Network Sleeper channel. It's free to join. You can start your own thread, post a screenshot on there. We can rate your team, talk about trades. You can post the other teams in the league, or another team you're trying to trade with. Be more than happy to geek out with you. Try to put some trade offers together. And see what we could seek out and get a little more detailed versus the kind of short time we can give you here on the channel. I mean, if you have a specific trade that we can give you our pros and cons are, or something that's pending, then that's easy. But to do like a full breakdown on your team, I'd rather do that in the sleeper channel. So there you go. Tresnor says he hit the like button for us, man. We appreciate that. Thumbs up to you, my man. Appreciate that. Thank you. And he says he's going to go eat some chimichangas. He'll be right back. So we appreciate the sub and the like, and you go appreciate your chimichangas, and we'll be back here when you get back. And if we're not, we're recorded. So we'll be here whenever you're ready.
Right there. That's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Right there.
Absolutely. Who else we got here? Where else we leave out on the chat?
Don't trade for injured players.
Yeah, Ron's big on that. I'm the opposite. That's when I like buying low on guys. It's a risk, either way. You just hope if you make one of those trades, you can wait for that injured guy, to get back. So there we go. And I see you guys popping up in the Get Right chat, man. I see you guys posting some threads already. I see the notifications coming. So that's what's up. Keep it going. Make sure you guys join. I think I can actually pin this. Let me see if I can pin it. But go ahead. You can
let me go through here
on the chat there. We got some moderators in there. Can you moderators pin that chat for me? Let me know if you guys have that ability. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going through here trying to get to somebody here. So he's talking about Pierce getting 45% of the snap share. That's best potential, no offense, but it's but he's not it. So yeah, well, maybe it may not be. Pittman, let's talk about Pittman might have a good week this week. And I agree. I think he would. He's looking pretty good. That's great. Good throws. Let's see where we're at. Definitely Pittman. There's a lot of chatter going back and forth.
All right, so we're caught up with like stuff, or if you see anybody new in there. Oh, I see a new one. I think it just popped up here. We have Antonio Lopez. What's up, man?
I just put a star on it. Does that do that?
I don't know. Maybe we'll try it. I seen that too, but I think it just shows us like starred when. Yeah, I think it just says there. Yeah, that didn't work. That's okay. So let's go back to Anthony Lopez here. He says, would you do AJ Brown, Cam Akers, and Kareem Hunt for Mike Williams and Saquon? Ooh. If you're really hurting for running back and you have the depth to give up AJ Brown, then I'd say yes. But you still, obviously, Saquon's not playing this week. Might even miss another week. There's a chance it could be a high ankle and he's out, 4 to 5 weeks possibly. I don't think it's that serious because, he was almost going to play this week. I would take the chance on it as long as you're not like, obviously, you can't need a running back this week, or if you're just trying to throw someone in this week. But I think, kind of comes down for AJ Brown versus Saquon, and I'm pretty sure Saquon was drafted ahead of AJ Brown in most leagues, even in full PPR. So I'd take Saquon and Williams. Because you're getting at least a receiver to replace him. Obviously, it's a downgrade, but with high upside and then you're getting Saquon, who's by far better than Cam Akers and Kareem Hunt. So that's where
That's
I'm
for
at.
sure.
What about you? Same.
It's tough. It's tough. But I see what you're doing there. Since you kind of swap in positions, wide receivers for running backs, that's what you're trying to improve. The other guys are just kind of cannon fodder in there. Mike Williams is pretty decent. We'll see what Cam Akers does in Kareem Hunt, if anything. So those are just kind of like up in the air type guys right now. They do have an opportunity where they're going to, but like Anthony said, we drafted Saquon. He's a much better player. He's a little ahead of AJ, and if that's what your need is, I would definitely go for the running back versus the wide receiver. But again, if you not good in wide receiver, stick with AJ Brown, right? I guess this all depends on his depth, and I think Anthony froze, or myself here. So we got hits.
Can you hear
talking
me
about,
still? Can you
Yeah, I
hear me
got you
still?
now. I can hear you now.
Okay. No, I was trying to go into the
Your
I popped out
computer's
of the
frozen.
app. Yeah. Well, I'm going to come back here in a second.
Oh.
So am I good
So-
now? Can you see me? Am I moving?
Yeah, you're good. Now
All
you're
right.
full on.
Because I
You're
run the
full.
whole show from my phone, and I guess I can only pin the message from my phone app. I couldn't do it from the computer, which is weird. I just couldn't
Right.
figure it out. But I think I pinned the message up there for you guys now. That's
Yeah.
our Super League. But yeah, so a little delayed there. But go
So
ahead.
hits. Let's talk about trade Mixon for Kyron PPR.
That's a you question because I'm mixing for me.
I like Kyron.
Especially if Joey Burrow's out, they'll probably run it through Mixon even more, honestly. But I'm mixing.
Really? He
Yeah.
hasn't been doing well though, man.
It's been doing all right.
I'm on the Kyron side.
There you go. You could be.
I think this guy's going to be a league winner. We just found somebody. We're going to be talking about it at the end of the year, and he's going to be the guy. Especially again, I said it. Cam's gone now. There's no like going back away from this guy. He's all or nothing. They're all or bust with this guy right now.
I mean, he is the RB2 in fantasy right now. Kyron is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
Where's Mixon at right now?
gotta scroll down a little bit here.
Exactly. Point being.
Anyway, go ahead.
We gotta scroll
I'm
down
still
a little
taking
while.
Mixon. I'm not
Still
overreacting
taking-
to that.
No, I'm not overreacting, man. I think
RB21 right now, Joe Mixon. So he's still low in RB2 as far as fantasy points, but I mean, it's not great. 26 carries, 115 yards, 10 targets, 7 catches for 53 yards, no touchdowns yet.
RB21.
So, I'd still take Mixon. That's just me. Again, I'm buying Bengals players right now if anyone's selling. So I'll buy.
I don't think we help him at all because I'm on Kyron's side. He's on the Mixon side. What are
The
the
chat will
chats?
help him out.
Split
The
it
chat will
down
help
the
him
middle.
out. And if you're here, man, hit that subscribe button for us if you haven't already, man. And if you guys have subscribed, hit that like button
That's
for
what's
us.
Look what
We'd
Smoke
appreciate it,
the
man.
Cat said.
He said, just join the sleeper chat.
Smoke
Let's
the Fat
go.
Cat.
That's what I was saying. I
Yes,
seen
what's
his when
up?
it
Let's
popped
go.
up. Yeah. Welcome. He says, pick 3 this week, Bijan, Kyron, Jacobs, Ford, or Gibbs. So I'm definitely going Bijan and Gibbs. And then I'd probably go Kyron. And that's just without knowing matchups I know Ford's playing the Bills. I don't know who.
Smoke the Cat though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the way running back's going right now. You got a nice little setup there. He's been on the waiver wire here with Ford and Kyron.
What's going on?
Yeah, I
man?
like that.
This guy's sitting really nice.
I like that. See, that's how this guys get right folks do over here. This is how your running back room should look.
Waiver wire drafted Bijan and Jacobs. Probably got Bijan first, and then Jacobs coming back. Gibbs and what?
Probably in the third. Yeah, and then he probably got Gibbs in the second, and then
Jacobs
that's tough.
went in the first, right? Or Bijan went in the first.
No,
So did
Bijan went first. Yeah, Jacobs might have fell to him in this one. So yeah, either way,
Bijan second.
Bijan Gibbs for sure. It might be Kyron or Jacobs depending on matchup. Ford, if obviously you can stay away from him this week against Buffalo, who just held Jacobs to negative rushing yards. I'd kind of pump the brakes a little bit if you have better options. I need to get a freaking
he does.
schedule
He does have
up here.
better option.
Do you have the schedule up? Who are the Rams playing?
Oh, I put it down. The Rams are playing Monday night. Remember?
No, I don't. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, yeah.
Against the Bengals. That's right. Against Bengals. I'd fire him up against the Bengals. So yeah, Bijan, Kyron, and Gibbs. Let's go.
Yeah.
Who's Las Vegas
Roll
playing?
with it.
Now I gotta know.
I got you.
Las
I'm looking at
Vegas.
the schedule right
Oh,
now.
they're playing Pittsburgh. They got tough defense. Yeah, I'd go Kyron.
Yeah,
I'd go Kyron.
Roll with it.
Kyron
Roll with
Gibbs
it.
Bijan for me. You're good too? There we go.
Yeah, that's what I like. I mean, I like Kyron. I'm all
I
in
know
with
you're
you.
all over him.
You're selling me.
There we
now.
go. Yeah. Okay. So Elon said, Eli said, yeah, because I was already reading, I was already in the Saquon part. So I kind of skipped forward as I was reading that's how my brain works sometimes. He said, get Mike Will and Saquon like right now. Said you're getting free value. So he says that, but then you got our resident Eagles fan in the house saying, no, keep AJ Brown. Yeah.
But Eli's agreeing with me. He's I'll take Mason for his name value alone, but people value him more. But I personally like Kyron.
There you go. Hey, finally, Eli and I are disagreeing again. Finally, it was too much of a happy rainbow and clouds there for a while. So there we go.
Let's go with hits. Who would you trade Madison for? And Garrett Wilson. So he's like, who can I offer him for? Garrett Wilson still has a lot of value. I think Madison's really a sell low type situation.
Yeah, he's in a sell low spot now. Yeah, after today, no one's really buying him. Like I said, I was willing to give a third in Dynasty for him yesterday. Today, definitely not giving a third for him. So
but Garrett Wilson, on the other hand, with the touchdown he did get with Dallas, he looked good still. You know, people might think, hey, this guy's still
keeps
got a
getting
shot.
bailed out. I don't know. I'd sell him high while you can.
Yeah, that's what I'm
as
saying.
far as
That's
who you can target.
That's
again,
who you can actually sell.
Yeah, but I mean, I definitely try. And you again, it's going to be that Olave. Maybe you can turn Wilson and Madison into like Amon-Ra, someone like that.
Mike Evans.
I guess. I mean,
Mike
Baker's played
solid,
like literally the best football of his life for the first 2 games. I don't think he can keep that up. No interceptions. I'm just not sold yet. I gave Mike Evans his love.
He did his bid in LA, remember?
It's just it was for like 2 games and then he sucked for the rest of the year. Remember, he came back, had that like game-winning drive, 2 out catches into the end zone. They win all crazy Monday night after like one practice with the team. Yeah, and then it was just like, and then the defensive coordinator just got tape on him and they just started doing what they were doing to him in Cleveland and he just turned back into Baker Mayfield. So again, maybe this is his year. Maybe he was older and grown and, maybe, hey, this is it now. Has good weapons, probably the best receiving core he's had in his career. So, hey, maybe maybe he's serviceable. Again, Brock Purdy is okay. And Baker was obviously drafted a lot higher than Purdy was. So if Purdy could get it done, I guess we can believe in Baker. That's just me. Anyway, I think we veered way far from this question if we're talking about Baker Mayfield and when we were talking about Garrett Wilson. But yeah, so anyway, so hopefully that helps you out there.
Acres there. I don't know if that was split. It's going to be look like, yeah, nobody wants Madison at all.
Yeah,
he's done.
He's just kind of a throw-in piece right now. Yeah, some depth. Because again, I mean, Akers could get in there and get hurt, and now it's all back to Madison again. So, like, you never know what's going to happen. It's only week 2. There we go. You tell him. You tell him. All right. So, what else we got in here? You guys blowing up the chat. Appreciate it. Keep it coming, man. I'll sit here and take questions all night. Like I said, we'll get to our other stuff later. Eli Murphy saying this Ronald dude's a clown and he wants to keep 6-point AJ and not take Saquon. So yeah, Ron's a big time Eagles fan, so there's no way he's trading AJ Brown.
I mocked all summer. Hey, well, if you mock all summer, man, we're home of the Friday night mocks, man. We had a whole tournament based on just mocking. So come join us at the beginning of the season.
Nice plug, Frank.
Early. I'm just saying. I'm always saying.
There you go. I got to market that. Yeah, we got to talk about it during the year so people are ready for it come tournament time. Yeah, we run a tournament every August, man. It's awesome. Helps us pass the time that last month to get through and get some good mocks in there. Dial you guys in, and you have a chance to make some cash from Get Right for doing it.
Pretty much.
Absolutely. So there we go. So yeah, Ron's saying he would take a top 10 wide receiver over an injured top 10 running back. It's crazy. So there we go. So we like it, man. This is why fantasy football works, because you got people on one side, people on the other, and that's how trades happen, man. That's how trades happen. So, there we go. What else we got in here? Any other questions, or anyone just kind of talking about themselves? All right, you guys keep chatting in there. Any new names that we see in there?
Going here pretty soon.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dang, you're there. All right, they're just going off.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I found a new one. We don't want to lose
Chaka?
our new viewers here.
Oh,
Yeah, there we
hey,
go.
Chaka's back.
Oh, you remember
We've had
Chaka?
before,
I don't know if I
yes,
remember that one.
that.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I remember Chaka.
There we go. Well, welcome back, Chaka. I apologize for not remembering you, but we are getting close to 1,000 people here. When we were like, 50 subs, I knew everybody. Like I knew every single one of our subscribers because I begged them to subscribe to us.
I remember
Because we only had like 40.
He has the dude from the show and everything, man. So
Oh, okay. There we go. Well, let's get to his questions. Would you trade Kyron Williams for Puka? If you need a wide receiver and you can give up a running back, absolutely. But again, Coop's coming back. So
Puka's going to be a wide receiver 2 here pretty soon.
right. So maybe you stick with the Kyron side. Really kind of just depends on the makeup of your team, but I think that's an even trade if you can make it happen, just depending on if you want.
Trade right now, yes.
Yeah, one way or the other, yeah.
Today.
And I still think Puka will have good value. He's just not getting 20 targets when Cup comes back. And again, Cup could re-aggravate and just like he was already done.
Right back down.
He was out a month.
Right back down.
They shut him down for a month, came back and re-aggravated it within the first week. So you never know what's going to happen again. So again, if you need some wide receiver upside, a little chance there, and you can afford to get rid of the running back depth, then I'd take the plunge. I don't think you're losing either way. Just kind of depends what your thing is. So
Drunk Squidward is if you were to trade Jerome Ford, what wide receiver could you get in a PPR league being realistic? Shoot. Basically low end wide receiver ones, I think, for him right now. People are like spending all their fab on that guy. So you're selling high.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't sell low, but like you're not going to get again like an AJ Brown. You'd have to package somebody if you're looking for something like
low end
straight up. Yeah, like straight up, like maybe you can get like a Garrett Wilson for Jerome Ford. I think the Wilson owner would probably make that move. Again, maybe T Higgins. I'd like to put Jerome Ford with maybe another wide receiver you have to maybe get like Jamar Chase. Again, maybe DK Metcalf. I would kind of shoot, for that type of range. Olave. Again, I just love his targets. I don't think you're creeping into the Stephon Diggs range. You're not getting CeeDee Lamb. You're not getting Justin Jefferson. I'm not trading him for Jerome Ford for Addison. That's actually a good one, Frank.
That's what I'm saying. That's about right.
That might be good. I mean, I'd like a little more name value.
Yeah.
Like, we're big on Dynasty and we're degenerates here. Like, I don't know if Addison holds the same value like you and I, or at least I have for him.
Yeah, we know what he's worth.
Yeah, like I know. And he's produced like immediately. Like he's what? He's like wide receiver 18 right now in full PPR. Yeah. 17 targets in 2 games, 12 catches, 150 yards and a touchdown. So
if you go after injured Waddle, no, that's too much.
I don't think Waddle actually kind of is like a little buy low right now. He hasn't really seen as much target share. He got Tyreek Hill a little banged up. Again, running backs, taking a little hit.
Get like a Cooper.
Yeah, maybe you can get Cooper Kupp for Jerome Ford. Oh, I was saying, you're saying Amari Cooper. I was thinking Cooper Kupp.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go after Cooper Kupp for Jerome Ford. Yeah, I'd take that chance. Again, if you can give up the running back, I mean, you're taking a chance, but if you're going to swing for the fence, man, swing for the fence. Yeah, like fall over when you swing.
Eli's like, no, don't trade for a hurt player.
Yeah, they always say that, man.
Ronald, yeah.
Yeah, Ronald always keeps saying that. So there you go. All right, so what else we got in here?
I think Kyron, but Puka in this Dynasty, maybe like Terry
or Collins. I'd shoot a little higher. Yeah, Ron's saying Godwin. I think Godwin you could get done. I mean, maybe Puka, Jerome Ford for Puka. I'd take that chance, either Puka or Kupp.
Oh, he's down for next year for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Get in the tournament, man.
If you win the
turn those notifications
there's
on.
Money involved. You get into an actual, best ball league.
Best ball draft,
end of the year, best ball. That's got, what, $50?
Yeah. And it might be bigger next year. You never know. Yeah. Might get a sponsor. We're working on it.
Just for mocking, man. Just for mocking with us. Come join us.
For sure. Wait, come on, man. We got a new sub. I'm trying to give him his love. What's up, Hits? Appreciate the new sub, man.
Going there.
Oh, okay. We just double clicked it there. Yes. But yeah, so there we go. Appreciate the sub for us, man. We might fly through this 970 range. We're getting a lot of folks here tonight. Yeah, let's go. Tresner says, what do you think about Pacheco this week and beyond? A little banged up this week.
We
dealing with that
cut off
hammy.
him in
So we'll see
week.
kind of what happens. They just don't quite run the ball there. Like even when they get inside the 5, it's always some weird gadgety play or play action, or Kelsey takes the handoff, or they do one of
Especially
those
now that Kelsey's
shovel underhand passes and lateral type things. They don't just line up in I formation, goal line, and just run it, toss left, toss right, or up the middle, or
The good thing
they
they
don't
are
really
giving
do
him
that.
most of the touches. They're not giving it out to Jerick McKinnon. They're not giving it out to CEH. They're actually featuring Pacheco this year for the most part, at least thus far. So that's the bright side to that. And I think that should continue. But if he continues to be injured, and lets these other guys creep in, because Jerick McKinnon was doing pretty solid at the end of the year. So if he, again, that's why Jerick McKinnon shined, is because Pacheco did go down. So you might want to worry about this guy being an injury prone type dude.
Interesting. This is interesting thing too here. Sorry, I was going ahead in the chats. He says, I have Nico Collins. He would not make that trade for 4. Yeah, sometimes we got to just do it. He says he has Collins and he wouldn't take the trade for 4. We're big time Collins fans over here too. I think your average league may do it. I don't want to say casuals. I assume if you guys are watching this, you're degenerates like us. But I would try it. You never know what happens in the league, but it's good to know, someone that has Nico wouldn't take Ford for him. So, but if you're hurting at running back, you might take Ford for him, especially based on how you dropped him. So, even Ron saying he'd have rather have Nico in PPR as well too. So, yeah. So what else we got here? I think everyone's kind of just talking.
Boom.
There we go. Always like that.
So anyway,
always like that.
So he was talking about those trades. He's like,
yeah, I think they're all talking to each other in there.
I would say you could get established like wide receiver 2 to 3, like Godwin or Williams. So we were talking about that trade earlier. Just kind of bringing that up.
All right, well, let's move on, man. Let's try to bang this thing out. We've got a lot of peeps in the chat tonight. We appreciate it. But yeah, we'll try to finish it up. And again, if you guys want to keep asking those questions when we're not live, you can always drop into the Sleeper channel. Make sure you guys go sign up there, or not even sign up. Just follow the link. It should be pinned in the chat, or you might have to scroll through if I happen to not do it right. But yeah, make sure you guys come in there. You can post screenshots, make your own thread, and we'll all give you the feedback there from in the community. So again, we've kind of talked a lot about these guys, so we'll kind of just fly through some of these here. So again, wide receiver buys, Calvin Ridley we've been talking about. Again, if you can buy low on someone like DK, Olave, those are the kind of guys you might want to be targeting. Again, Puka is one of those guys where I think he goes in both categories, buy and sell. Who are some of the other wide receivers you have that you're looking to buy?
Honestly, we actually mentioned him a little bit earlier, but Jordan Addison, I'd like to get over here. I think that's somebody you could reach for. Let's see, Rashid Shaheed, but he's a waiver wire pickup right now. Even some of these guys. I think it's somebody else here. I don't know.
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins. That's literally T. Higgins next. That's probably the next guy that I would be shooting for. Out of that set, because everybody else is they're not going to be moving on some of these guys. You know what I mean? Especially after the weeks that you just had on some of these guys. So you kind of have middle range guys right now that you're moving for.
Absolutely. So we'll move on to sells. Who are some wide receivers you're looking to sell?
Ooh, let's see. I'd say Wilson. Garrett Wilson's high on the list of you got to move on that guy. You know what I mean? That's the situation's rough over there in the Jets, and I think that you could sell high with his last touchdown right now, and people would be kind of high on him. He's high on the in the beginning of the year, so that's who I'm looking to sell.
There you go. Other guys that you might be looking to buy. Maybe you can buy a little low on DeAndre Hopkins right now. Maybe Amari Cooper, if you can buy low on him. You might take a stab there. Obviously, Jamar Chase is someone I'm, buying. If the Chase owner is hurting, maybe they had a running back go down, you can offer a nice little package there for them. Maybe you can get get Jamar Chase. Again, always start with those higher guys. And yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of good. Anybody else we're kind of missing there?
Tycoon popped in. What's up, Tycoon?
What up, Tycoon? How's it going? Tresner saying, "Are you okay with that cough, man?" Yeah, I had to hit the quick mute right there.
Right.
Catch my breath a little bit. Sometimes I get talking too much this long, and I forgot my water bottle, so I can't rehydrate. So it happens.
Dry.
Yeah, I had to get some gunk in there to let things keep working. So I appreciate the concern, though, man. See you guys looking out for me over here. I think I turned a little red too when that happened, but we're all good. So what else we got here? So let's go to wide receiver sells, or we already just did sells, right?
Yeah, it's the sells.
Okay,
We're
that's
on
what it was.
tight
The
end,
sells.
if anything.
Oh, see, I just even said more buys. My bad. So as far as my sells, Michael Thomas, man. If I can sell him right now, I can. I don't know who's quite. I don't know who's quite buying, but he's had decent, some decent weeks. At least decent like first halves, and then kind of falls off in the second half. But again, he hasn't played really in a year and a half, so maybe it's just taking some time for him to get back up there. But he is sitting at 17 targets, 12 catches for 116 yards. Just hasn't scored a touchdown yet. So again, if I can include him in a package, I think he can have some value there.
Pittman Jr., man, still in him. I too.
Yeah, Michael Pittman Jr. That's a good one. I'm also trying to sell like DJ Moore, Drake London if I can get out of them. There you may not be selling high, per se. They're just folks I would try to move, or at least include in a package. Again, other guys you're trying to sell high on, Puka Nacua. Again, Nico Collins, if you can sell him high, and turn him into someone drafted a little higher. Although I still like him and wouldn't mind holding on to him either way. But definitely test the waters. And yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tight ends, you know what I'm going to say with tight ends. Like if you can get Kelsey, like the trade I mentioned at the top of the show, you're always doing something like that. If you can get Andrews, otherwise you're pretty much just kind of streaming tight end at this point. You're just hoping whoever it is, scores a touchdown.
This person's like Ferguson's a pick.
Yeah, that's all I have to say there.
Maybe moving on. Maybe Luke Musgrave's a pickup. Shoot, I might even.
Yeah, but those aren't trades. I mean, those are guys you're just streaming.
Yeah, these are just pickups. They're streaming. There's not too much trade happening, moving. You just kind of package tight ends with tight ends or whatever as a group to help entice somebody to get you.
Always be trying to get Kelsey. Yeah. Like that's all I have to say there. Yeah. So we'll move on.
Yeah, that's really not.
Yeah, so we'll move on. So we'll get out of here, man. It's already a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were trying to keep it to an hour, but you guys rolled out deep tonight, man. Yeah, you guys rolled out deep. We appreciate it. I think we got like almost 10 subs this 10 new subs this show. So that was awesome. Yeah. See, that's what I had to do is just ask, right? Hit that sub button for us, guys. So yeah, man, we appreciate it. Again, if you guys have any other questions, excuse me, or you're watching this after the fact, and you want to get your questions in and have us rate your team or go through it, see what we, what we would do or get our input, come join that sleeper channel. Again, it's pinned to the top of the chat. It's in the description as well. So just come out and we'll see you there in the chat or in the thread. So other than that, we just want to thank our last sponsor here before we head out, TrophySmack.com, man. If you guys don't know, now you know. Go check them out. They have awesome stuff there. If you want to kind of take your league to the next level, awesome rings, customize them with the team logo. They have custom belts, which are awesome. We have belts for our home leagues. Your basic trophies. Can't go wrong there. And then you're like your Kirk Cousins chains, man. Got some swag chains and stuff like that going on. Again, all fully customizable. Team name, league name and logos. Makes it real fun. Gives you something additional to play for. In addition to that pride and maybe that little bit of cash that you guys are throwing around there. So again, go check them out. The link's in the description. When you do check out, use that promo code GetRight, and that helps us out. Nope, you're good. That's where we're rolling to next. In addition to that, make sure you guys go help out our affiliate channels here. You got Tim and AJ with the Fantasy Frontline podcast, focusing on your Dynasty stuff there, and they'll do some redraft stuff as well, but real big in the Dynasty offseason. You have the Check Down podcast with Cody McGoats, Shirtless Pat, Greg, and the fellas over there. And then you got our boy Adam with the Dead Zone Fantasy Show coming soon. All the links are in the description. Make sure you guys go hit a sub so that when they do go live, put those notifications on. You'll see them on their channel as well as streamed here on Get Right Fantasy Network. One last thing I want to put out there for you guys. If you guys are into writing, maybe you want to have your own show, like some of our affiliates here. Maybe you want to potentially come on in here and be on a show here with us.
Maybe you'd like to serve help on the back end with some writing articles on the website.
Help us with production, stuff like that. You want to be a part of a fantasy channel, man? Come check us out. We'd love to grow. We're continuing to grow here. So anything we can do. Or if you just want to kind of be an ambassador of the show, you guys can go check out our website, getrighff.com. And that's where we also have our weekly rankings. So if you want to know who we're starting or who we're sitting or kind of how we generally feel about guys, you can go check those rankings out there. And again, if you're interested, just email us at getrighff@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Sleeper Twitter at Rastafarin, which is all in the description. So unless there's anything else, Frank, that you have, let's get out of here before this thing hits the official 2-hour mark. Oh, for sure. I'm always down for that.
It says, should I trade away Brian Robinson Jr. to acquire Alexander Madison and Tyler Lockett? PPR and my other RBs are CMC and Damian Pierce. I would say no.
No.
I mean, no.
Brian
Brian Robinson's going to be number one over there.
Yeah.
Alexander Madison's
might not do great this week, but you know. Oh, and I think I said it wrong earlier. It's Brian Robinson that's going up against Buffalo. Jerome Ford's not going up against Buffalo.
No. So there's a 4 consensus no's on that.
Yeah, we're all there for you there.
With that, at the end of the show, we're going to close it out.
And he says cheers. So there you go. We fit you in, Jackson.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button for us, man. We're trying to hit 1K subs. We're like right there, man. Help us out. Help us get there. We'll be back here on Friday, Classic Mike and I, to do our start sit show, game by game breakdowns, start sit previews. Ooh, little slip there. So start sit, game by game previews, as well as taking your live chats in there as well too. So for myself, man, for Dustin, for Classic Mike, for you, Frank, and for me, this is Get Right Fantasy Network. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you back on Friday. Peace out.
Wanted to write fantasy is the play. Marking often, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided.